My beloved child, listen closely to what I am placing before your heart today. I am not coming to you through fear, panic, or a loud sign that shakes everything around you. I am coming through something quieter, something deeper, something you may have almost ignored because it did not arrive with noise. Lately, you may have sensed a small shift within yourself. Not something you could easily explain, not something you could prove to another person, but something real enough to make you pause. A sudden stillness in the middle of an ordinary day. A thought that keeps returning. A gentle pull away from what once felt familiar. A quiet feeling that your life is being moved towards something you have not yet fully seen. My beloved child, do not dismiss that. I often begin awakening a soul before I begin changing the scene around it. The world looks for dramatic proof, but I often touch the hidden places first. I move beneath the surface where your awareness begins to soften, where your spirit becomes more sensitive, where your heart starts noticing what it used to overlook. You have been asking for direction, but you expected the answer to come in a way that was obvious. You wanted a door to swing wide open, a voice to make everything plain, a sign so clear that doubt would have no room to breathe. But my guidance does not always begin that way. Sometimes I start with a quiet uneasiness that is not anxiety. Sometimes I start with a peace that feels unusual. Sometimes I start by making old places feel too small for the person I am forming within you. John chapter 3 verse 8 says that the wind blows where it wishes and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with the work of my Spirit. You may not always understand the movement, but you can learn to recognize the touch. You may not know every detail of what is changing, but you can sense that something holy is stirring. My beloved child, I am awakening you through subtle signs because I do not want you to live numb. I do not want you to move through your days without perceiving my nearness. I do not want you to keep calling everything coincidence when I have been gently guiding you through moments that seemed ordinary, a sentence you heard at the right time, a scripture that stayed with you after you closed the page, a dream that made you pray, a closed conversation that made you rethink your direction, a quiet heaviness when you were about to step into something that did not carry peace. These are not meant to make you afraid. They are meant to make you attentive. Do not rush past the small things. The enemy loves a distracted soul, but I awaken the soul that is willing to become still. When your heart is always crowded, you can mistake my whisper for background noise. When your mind is always racing, you can overlook the gentle correction that would have protected you. When you chase constant signs, you may miss the simple light I already placed at your feet. 1 Kings chapter 19 reminds you that I was not in the wind, not in the earthquake, and not in the fire, but in the gentle whisper. My beloved child, I am still able to speak that way. I do not need to overwhelm you to reach you. I do not need to frighten you to guide you. I do not need to interrupt your entire life with a storm when one quiet prompting can turn your steps towards safety. There are things I have been trying to show you gently. A relationship that no longer gives life. A habit that keeps making your soul heavy. A place that drains your peace even though it looks acceptable on the outside. A desire that once excited you but now feels empty. A direction that keeps returning to your heart no matter how many times you try to ignore it. These small signs are not random sparks. They are invitations to listen deeper. I know you sometimes doubt your own sensitivity. You wonder whether you are imagining things. You ask yourself if you are being too emotional or too cautious. My beloved child, I am not asking you to trust every feeling blindly. I am teaching you to bring every movement before me. A true sign from me will not push you into chaos. It will draw you into stillness, clarity, humility, and peace. That is why you must learn the difference between fear and discernment. Fear shouts and makes you frantic. Discernment often speaks quietly and makes you steady. Fear rushes you toward control. Discernment invites you to pause, pray, and notice. Fear makes everything feel like danger. Discernment helps you recognize what carries life and what does not. Psalm 119 verse 105 says that, "My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path." A lamp does not show every mile ahead. It gives enough light for the next step. This is how I am leading you now. Not with the entire future exposed, but with enough light to keep you from walking blindly. My beloved child, I am not hiding from you. I am training you to become awake. I am teaching you to notice when peace lifts, when truth presses gently, when your spirit becomes quiet around one path and unsettled around another. I am teaching you to hear me without needing noise. I am teaching you to trust me without demanding spectacle. So today, slow down. Let your heart become soft again. Pay attention to the holy stillness that visits you without warning. Pay attention to the repeated thought that leads you back to prayer. Pay attention to the peace that remains when everything else feels uncertain. I am not trying to confuse you. I am drawing you closer. I have been preparing your spirit gently so your next step will not surprise you when the door finally begins to open before you again today. This awakening is only the beginning. What I am doing in you will not always arrive loudly, and that is why I will teach you next how to recognize beginnings that come quietly. For not every new season announces itself with thunder. Some beginnings come like dawn, soft at first, but carrying enough light to change everything. My beloved child, the awakening I began to speak over you does not always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it comes like the first light at the edge of morning, so soft that a hurried heart may not notice it. Yet that gentle light is still strong enough to end the night. You may have been waiting for a dramatic sign before believing that something new has begun. You wanted a clear event, a sudden change, a door opening so obviously that no question could remain. You thought a new season would announce itself with excitement and movement. But my beloved child, many of my beginnings are quiet because I am not trying to impress your eyes. I am trying to awaken your heart. A seed does not make noise when it breaks open beneath the ground. A child does not become strong in one visible moment. A spring of water may begin deep under the earth, long before anyone sees it flowing. In the same way, there are beginnings in your life that have already started in hidden places. You may not be able to point to them yet, but your spirit can feel that something has shifted. Do not ignore the gentle beginning simply because it does not look complete. I often begin by changing what you can no longer accept. The old conversation no longer feeds you. The old distraction no longer satisfies you. The old place feels smaller, not because you are ungrateful, but because I am enlarging your soul for what comes next. Isaiah chapter 42 verse 9 says that former things have come to pass and new things I declare before they spring forth. Notice this. I speak of new things before they fully appear. I prepare you before the evidence is visible. I whisper before the road is wide. I place a quiet knowing within you before others around you can understand what I am doing. This is why you must not rush to explain every inner shift. Some things are too tender to be handled by many voices too soon. If you speak too quickly, people may judge what I am still forming. If you seek approval too soon, you may hand a holy beginning to those who only know how to measure by the surface. Let me nurture what is young inside you before you expose it to opinion. Remember Mary, the mother of my son. When she received a word that would change history, the world around her did not immediately see the fullness of it. She carried the promise in quietness before others could understand. Luke chapter 2 says, she treasured these things in her heart. My beloved child, there are beginnings that must be treasured before they are announced. You may be in that kind of beginning right now. Something in you is carrying a promise, but it still feels small. Something in you is pulling toward prayer, but you do not yet know where the path leads. Something in you is becoming more honest, more awake, more sensitive to my voice, but the outside of your life still looks familiar. Do not call that nothing. A holy beginning can be invisible and still be real. The world teaches you to trust what is loud. It celebrates sudden changes, public proof, and immediate results. But I want you to learn the language of quiet beginnings, a peaceful conviction, a repeated invitation to return to me, a burden lifting little by little, a new desire for truth, a growing inability to keep living in the same pattern. These are signs that a new chapter has begun inside you. My beloved child, I know the part of you that becomes impatient. You want the beginning to become a breakthrough quickly. You want the hidden thing to become visible. You want others to recognize that something has changed. But if I reveal the beginning before it is rooted, the wind of opinion may shake it. I am giving it time to become steady within you. Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10 says, not to despise the day of small beginnings. I know small beginnings can feel fragile. They can feel uncertain. They can make you wonder if you are imagining the shift. But I am not ashamed of what begins small. I placed greatness inside mustard seeds. I placed harvests inside quiet fields. I know how to grow what others overlook. So when the beginning is gentle, stay close to me. Do not force it. Do not rush it. Do not demand that it become clear before it's time. Pray over it. Guard it with humility. Test it with my word. Let peace confirm what pressure cannot. Let wisdom protect what excitement might expose too quickly. There are beginnings that arrive as release. You wake one day and realize something no longer owns you like it once did. A memory still exists, but it no longer commands your breath. A person still matters, but you no longer feel chained to their response. My beloved child, that is a beginning. Freedom starts before circumstances change. There are beginnings that arrive as hunger. You suddenly desire stillness more than noise. You want truth more than comfort. You want my presence more than distraction. You want to heal more than you want to hide. You want to stop pretending, stop chasing, stop shrinking, stop carrying what was never yours to carry. That hunger is not random. It is my spirit inviting you deeper. There are beginnings that arrive as peace. Not loud happiness, not emotional excitement, but a quiet steadiness that remains beneath unanswered questions. John chapter 14 verse 27 says, "My peace I give to you, not as the world gives." My beloved child, when my peace settles upon a new beginning, it may not answer every question at once, but it will keep your heart from scattering. Be careful not to reject a beginning because it does not come with certainty in every detail. I do not always show you the full road because I am teaching you to trust my hand, not just my map. I give enough light for the next step. Then as you take that step, the next portion becomes clear. You are being invited into a new way of noticing. Notice what brings peace. Notice what draws you closer to truth. Notice what no longer fits the person I am forming. Notice the small mercy, the quiet confirmation, the gentle correction, the door that does not open, the word that keeps returning. Do not become anxious about these things. Simply bring them to me. My beloved child, the beginning is already stirring. It may be soft, but it is not weak. It may be hidden, but it is not absent. It may be quiet, but it carries my breath. What I begin in silence, I know how to bring into fullness. And as you learn to honor beginnings that come quietly, you will be ready to understand something deeper. Heaven does not move by panic, hurry, or human pressure. Heaven moves by sacred timing, and I am teaching your heart to walk in rhythm with that timing. My beloved child, now that you are learning to recognize beginnings that come quietly, I want you to understand the rhythm behind them. Heaven does not move because human fear demands speed. Heaven does not open a season because your anxiety has grown loud. Heaven moves by sacred timing, and my timing is never careless. You have often measured life by clocks, calendars, deadlines, ages, expectations, and the pace of people around you. You have asked why something has not happened yet, why a door took so long, why one prayer seemed to wait in silence while another person seemed to receive quickly. My beloved child, I know those questions. I know how waiting can press against the heart, but I want you to listen deeper than impatience. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. This means your life is not drifting in random delay. There are seasons I appoint, moments I protect, doors I hold closed, and beginnings I release only when your heart and the path before you are ready to meet. Sacred timing is not the same as slow timing. Sometimes I move quickly. Sometimes I pause. Sometimes I allow a thing to rest beneath the surface until the roots are strong enough. Sometimes I interrupt a plan you thought was ready because I see something ahead that your eyes cannot yet see. My timing is not only about when something arrives, it is also about what it will produce when it arrives. Think of fruit on a tree. If picked too early, it may look complete from the outside, but it has not yet gathered sweetness. If left in the right season, it becomes what it was meant to be. My beloved child, some blessings would become burdens if they came before the appointed hour. Some relationships would become confusion if entered before wisdom had formed. Some opportunities would become pressure if opened before peace had taken root. So do not mistake my waiting for my absence. I am present in the pause. I am present in the delay. I am present in the season where you cannot yet see movement. A farmer does not accuse the field every morning because the seed has not become harvest overnight. He waters, waits, watches, and trusts that hidden life is still working beneath the ground. You may be in a hidden time now. Things around you may look the same, but within you I am rearranging desires, softening resistance, strengthening discernment, and teaching you to walk without panic. The outside may not yet show the change, but the inside is being prepared. Before I move you into a new season, I often make you capable of carrying it. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3 says that the vision awaits its appointed time, and if it seems slow, wait for it, because it will surely come. My beloved child, this does not mean you sit in emptiness. It means you remain faithful while I align what you cannot align. It means you stop forcing a door simply because waiting feels uncomfortable. It means you let me be Lord over the hour. There are signs I place within time. A repeated nudge to pray, a door that gently remains closed, a conversation that arrives right when you need confirmation, a peace that returns after you release control, a heaviness that warns you not to rush. These signs do not always shout, but they help you move with my rhythm. They teach you when to wait, when to prepare, when to release, and when to step forward. My beloved child, one of the hardest lessons is that a closed moment can still be love. You may think, if I love you, I should open everything immediately. But my love is wiser than your urgency. I will not give you what would harm you just because you asked with tears. I will not send you into a room where your soul would be diminished simply because the door looks attractive. I guard what I am growing. Remember Lazarus. When my son heard that Lazarus was sick, he did not run immediately according to human expectation. To those watching, it looked like delay. To the sisters, it felt like pain. But the timing carried a greater revelation than they could understand in the middle of grief. My beloved child, I am not saying every delay will look like that story, but I am showing you that my timing can hold purpose even when your heart cannot yet explain it. This is why I ask you not to panic in the waiting. Panic makes you grab what is not ready. Panic makes you call Ishmael what I intended to bring as Isaac. Panic makes you confuse movement with obedience. But peace helps you wait without becoming bitter. Peace helps you prepare without forcing. Peace helps you notice the small signs I place along the path. Sacred timing also means that when the hour comes, you will not need to break down the door. What I open will carry my peace. What I release will not demand that you abandon your soul to keep it. What I prepare will meet you with a sense of rightness, even if it still requires courage. The right time does not always remove all fear, but it carries enough grace for the step. So let me slow what needs slowing. Let me hasten what needs hastening. Let me close what must close. Let me open what must open. You are not behind when you are walking with me. You are not forgotten when the season is quiet. You are not rejected because preparation is taking longer than you expected. Do not be ashamed of needing time. Even the morning has a process before the sun is fully seen. The sky lightens little by little, and then suddenly what was forming quietly becomes visible. So it is with you. I am not rushing what needs tenderness. I am not delaying what needs release. I am holding every piece of your story with wisdom. Trust the season you are in, not because you understand it all, but because you trust the one who is governing it with love, precision, and mercy for your future. Every hidden hour is still known and held by my hand. My beloved child, I am teaching you to respect the pace of heaven. When you learn this, you stop fighting every pause. You stop begging every closed door. You stop comparing your calendar with someone else's calling. You begin to ask a better question. Father, what are you forming in me while I wait? That question will save you from many false roads. It will turn waiting into worship. It will turn delay into formation. It will turn uncertainty into a place of deeper listening. And as you listen, you will begin to notice that before I change what is around you, I often stir what is within you. That inner stirring is the next place I want to show you, because outer change usually follows the quiet movement I begin inside your soul. My beloved child, as you learn to honor the sacred timing of heaven, I want you to understand how that timing often begins to reveal itself. Before I change the situation around you, I often stir the life within you. Before the door moves, your heart begins to sense that the hallway is no longer the same. Before the outer path opens, an inner awareness begins to awaken. You may look at your circumstances and say, Father, nothing has changed. The same people are there. The same responsibilities remain. The same questions still sit in front of me. But my beloved child, do not judge the work of my hand only by what your eyes can measure. Some of the deepest movements of heaven begin inside the soul before they ever become visible outside the life. I begin with desire. I begin with discomfort toward what once felt normal. I begin with a gentle ache for more truth, more peace, more purity, more alignment. I begin by making certain places feel too narrow for the person I am forming. I begin by letting your spirit recognize that an old rhythm can no longer carry the new life I am preparing. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 speaks of being transformed by the renewing of your mind. My beloved child, renewal does not begin as a public event. It begins in the hidden room of your thoughts, your longings, your values, and your responses. I touch how you see. I touch how you hear. I touch how you interpret the same situation that once controlled you. Then little by little, your outer decisions begin to follow the inner change. This is why you may feel different before anything around you looks different. You may lose interest in conversations that once entertained you. You may feel a quiet heaviness around places you used to enter, without question. You may find yourself wanting solitude, prayer, honesty, or cleaner peace. This is not always loneliness. It may be separation for preparation. I am making room inside you for what comes next. My beloved child, do not be afraid when old things begin to lose their taste. It can feel strange when what once satisfied you now feels empty. It can feel unsettling when people expect the old version of you, but I am shaping something deeper. You may not know how to explain the change, and that is all right. You do not need to explain every holy movement before it has finished forming. Think of Samuel hearing my voice in the night. The room looked the same. The temple was still quiet. Nothing around him announced a great change. Yet within that ordinary night, I was beginning to awaken a new level of hearing. My voice came before his full understanding. The calling began before the path was clear. So it is with you. I may call your spirit before your circumstances, confirm what I am doing. There are moments when the inner stirring feels like a question that will not leave. Why am I no longer at peace here? Why does this choice feel heavy? Why does this old pattern feel smaller than before? Why do I keep feeling drawn back to prayer? My beloved child, bring those questions to me. Do not bury them under busyness. Do not silence them with distraction. I may be using them to turn your face toward the next step. You are being recalibrated, not in a harsh way, but in a merciful way. Like an instrument being tuned before a song begins, your heart is being adjusted to the sound of my guidance. If I released the next season before your inner life was tuned, you might mistake the door, mishandle the blessing, or return to what I was trying to free you from. So I begin within. Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 26 says that I will give a new heart and put a new spirit within you. Notice, my child, I do not only rearrange your surroundings, I renew the inner place from which you live. A new road requires a new heart posture. A new assignment requires a new steadiness. A new relationship requires a new discernment. A new season requires a soul that is no longer governed by old fear. This is why inner stirring can be uncomfortable. It touches what you have outgrown before you have fully entered what is next. It makes familiar things feel uncertain, not to punish you, but to prevent you from settling where I am no longer calling you to remain. It loosens attachments. It exposes false comfort. It awakens hunger for what is real. My beloved child, do not rush to label every stirring as confusion. Sometimes confusion scatters you, but my stirring gathers you. Confusion makes you frantic, but my stirring makes you honest. Confusion pushes you away from peace, but my stirring pulls you toward me. Learn the difference. The movement I begin may challenge you, but it will not abandon you. When I stirred Nehemiah's heart about the broken walls of Jerusalem, the wall had not yet been rebuilt. The outer change had not yet happened, but the burden inside him was already a holy beginning. He wept. He prayed. He waited. Then, in the right time, the door opened for action. My beloved child, a burden placed by me is not meant to crush you. It is meant to point you toward faithful movement. So pay attention to what I am awakening in you. The desire to heal, the desire to live honestly, the desire to stop returning to empty places, the desire to forgive without becoming foolish, the desire to walk in peace rather than performance. These desires are not random. They may be the first shoots of a new season growing through the soil of your inner life. You may still be surrounded by the same outward facts, but you are not the same within them. That is where change begins. A storm may still be outside, but peace can begin inside. A door may still be closed, but courage can begin inside. A relationship may still be uncertain, but discernment can begin inside. My work within you is already preparing how you will respond when the outside finally shifts. Do not despise the unseen beginning. Do not demand proof before you honor what I am stirring. Bring it to me. Test it in my presence. Let my word search it. Let peace settle over what is true, and let go of what only comes from fear. My beloved child, I am stirring you before I move you. I am awakening you before I send you. I am reshaping your inner world before I rearrange your outer steps. This is my mercy, because I do not want you to enter a new season with an old heart still ruled by fear. And as you feel this holy movement inside, you remember this truth. Not every unrest is confusion. Some unrest is my gentle way of telling you that your soul is waking up. Stay near me, and I will teach you how to discern its peace without fear. My beloved child, when I stir something within you, it may feel unfamiliar at first. You may not know what to call it. You may feel a gentle uneasiness around what once felt normal, a quiet pull away from old routines, or a deep desire to stop pretending that everything is fine. Do not be afraid of that movement. Holy unrest is not confusion. Confusion scatters your mind. Holy unrest gathers your attention. Confusion makes you chase answers with fear. Holy unrest invites you to pause and listen. Confusion pushes you into panic, but holy unrest draws you into truth. It is the inner nudge that says, slow down, look again, pay attention. Something in this place no longer agrees with the life I am forming in you. My beloved child, I do not disturb your spirit to torment you. I awaken you to protect you, to prepare you, and to pull you out of patterns that have become too small for your calling. There are things you once accepted because you did not know another way. There are rooms you stayed in because leaving felt frightening. There are conversations you entertained because silence felt lonely. But when I begin to awaken you, your tolerance for what is empty begins to change. This does not mean you become proud. It means you become clearer. You no longer feel comfortable feeding your soul with what weakens it. You no longer feel peace around the habit that keeps you numb. You no longer feel alive in spaces where truth is mocked, where your spirit is drained, where your light is slowly covered. That inner unrest may not be loud, but it is mercy. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 33 says that God is not a God of confusion but of peace. So learn to test what you feel by its fruit. If a movement inside you drives you into frantic fear, harsh judgment, and rushed decisions, bring it before me and let it be quieted. But if it makes you honest, sober, prayerful, humble, and willing to seek my way, then pay attention. I may be waking you gently. My beloved child, holy unrest often comes before holy separation. I may allow you to feel uncomfortable in what once held you because I am teaching you that comfort is not always confirmation. Some places feel familiar only because your pain has lived there for a long time. Some patterns feel safe only because you have repeated them so often. But familiarity is not the same as life. Think of Moses when he saw the bush burning without being consumed. He could have walked past it and called it strange, but he turned aside to see, and in that turning he heard my voice. The beginning of his calling did not come through a crowd or a throne room. It came through a moment that interrupted his ordinary path. My beloved child, sometimes I use an unusual inner stirring the same way. I cause you to turn aside from routine so I can speak. You may be sensing this now. Something does not feel the same anymore. The entertainment that once distracted you now feels shallow. The approval you once chased now feels too expensive. The connection you once clung to now feels heavy. The dream you once refinement can feel like loss before it feels like freedom. When gold is placed in fire, it is not being destroyed. What is false is being separated from what is true. In the same way, I may allow certain desires to lose their shine so you can see what was real and what was only noise. I may allow certain doors to feel less inviting so you do not walk into a place your soul has outgrown. My beloved child, do not punish yourself for changing. Do not apologize because your spirit is becoming more sensitive to what carries peace. You are not becoming difficult. You are becoming awake. You are not becoming cold. You are learning to stop giving warmth to what keeps taking life from you. You are not becoming lost. You are learning that my peace is a compass, and your soul is beginning to recognize when it is not walking with that peace. Philippians chapter 4 verse 7 speaks of the peace of God guarding your heart and mind. My peace guards you not only by comforting you, but also by warning you when something is not aligned. Sometimes peace guards by settling. Sometimes peace guards by lifting. When peace lifts from a path, pause. Do not panic. Ask me what I am showing you. There are times when holy unrest says wait. There are times when it says release. There are times when it says speak the truth. There are times when it says stop returning to what keeps wounding you. But it will never ask you to act from chaos. It will lead you into prayer, counsel, wisdom, and a steadier yes. My beloved child, I know you want certainty before moving, but I am teaching you discernment, and discernment grows as you stay close to me. You do not need to interpret every feeling immediately. You can sit with me. You can ask, Father, is this fear, or is this your warning? Is this impatience, or is this your invitation? Is this pain speaking, or is this truth rising? That kind of honest question opens space for my spirit to guide you. I will not shame you for asking. I will not leave you guessing in darkness. I will confirm what comes from me through peace, scripture, wisdom, and the quiet steadiness that remains when emotion settles. Even when this unrest feels tender, remember that my hand is gentle. I do not awaken you by crushing you. I awaken you by making false peace harder to keep. You may feel tears rise without understanding why. You may feel drawn to clean your heart, simplify your life, or step away from noise. Do not mock that desire. I may be clearing the space where my voice will become easier for you to hear. What feels like discomfort today may become protection tomorrow, and what feels like a question may become the doorway to a deeper answer from me in due time, with peace, wisdom, and steady courage. So do not fear holy unrest. Let it bring you closer, not farther away. Let it make you prayerful, not panicked. Let it teach you to notice what carries life and what only carries noise. I am not trying to confuse you. I am trying to wake you from places where your soul was sleeping. My beloved child, when you understand this, you will begin to see that many small movements inside you are not random. They are gentle lights along the road. They do not always give the whole map, but they reveal the next step. And next I will show you how small signs can carry divine guidance when your heart is quiet enough to receive them. My beloved child, now that you understand holy unrest is not meant to confuse you, I want you to see how I guide you through small signs. I do not always place a burning sign in the sky. I do not always interrupt your life with a dramatic event. Many times I place a gentle light in the middle of an ordinary moment, just enough to turn your attention back to me. Small signs carry divine guidance when your heart is quiet enough to receive them. You may hear one sentence in a conversation and it touches a place no one knew was hurting. You may open scripture and find a verse that seems to breathe directly into your situation. You may feel a quiet pause before making a decision, not fear, but a careful stillness asking you to wait. You may notice a door closing softly without anger, without chaos yet, with a strange peace that tells you I am protecting you. My beloved child, do not despise the smallness of my guidance. A lamp does not need to flood the whole road to keep you from stumbling. It only needs to shine where your foot must step next. Psalm 119 verse 105 says that, "My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path." I often lead this way not by showing you the entire future, but by giving enough light for faithful movement today. You have wanted complete certainty before obeying. You have wanted every detail confirmed before trusting. But if I gave you the whole road at once, you might begin to trust the road more than me. So I guide you by portions, by quiet confirmations, by inner checks, by timely words, by peace that remains, and by warnings that arrive gently before pain becomes louder. Think of the wise men who followed the star. The star did not explain every part of the journey. It did not give them a scroll with every turn written out. It simply led them forward, and as they followed, the path unfolded. My beloved child, sometimes I place a small star in your life too. A thought that returns, a scripture that glows, a peace that follows one direction, a heaviness that comes when you try to enter another. This is why you must learn to pay attention without becoming anxious. I am not asking you to search desperately for hidden meanings in everything. I am asking you to walk closely enough with me that when I touch something, your spirit recognizes the difference. A sign from me will not make you frantic. It will invite you into prayer, wisdom, patience, and peace. Small signs often come as timing. A word arrives when your heart is almost ready to quit. A person calls when you are praying for encouragement. A delay happens just before you would have stepped into something unwise. A quiet opportunity appears after you finally release the need to force it. These moments may look simple from the outside, but they carry my care within them. My beloved child, I am present in the details. Not every detail is a sign, but no detail is outside my ability to use. I can guide through a verse, a pause, a closed door, a repeated theme, a burden to pray, a sense of peace, or a gentle discomfort. I can use the ordinary to protect you from the wrong road and lead you toward the right one. Remember Philip in the book of Acts. He was led toward a desert road, a place that may have seemed empty and unlikely. Yet, on that road, I had already prepared a man who was reading the scripture and needing understanding. What looked like an unusual instruction became a divine appointment. My beloved child, small guidance can lead to significant encounters when you trust me enough to follow. You may not always know why I am nudging you. You may only feel that you should pause, call someone, pray before answering, wait one more day, release a plan, or step forward with courage. Do not ignore these gentle movements simply because they are not loud. I often protect you before you know there is danger. I often prepare you before you know there is opportunity. There are signs that encourage. They remind you that I am near. There are signs that correct. They show you where your heart has drifted. There are signs that protect. They make a road feel heavy before your feet go too far. There are signs that confirm. They settle peace around a step you were afraid to take. Each one has a purpose, and none is given to make you live in fear. My beloved child, the more you remain in my presence, the more natural discernment will become. You will not need to force it. You will not need to analyze every shadow. You will learn the sound of my peace. You will learn the difference between a warning and a wound, between wisdom and anxiety, between my whisper and your own fear trying to imitate my voice. That is why my word must remain close to you. My signs will never contradict my character. They will not lead you into pride, cruelty, deception, control, or confusion. They will draw you toward truth, love, humility, patience, and peace. If something claims to be my guidance but pulls you away from my nature, bring it back to the light of Scripture and let it be tested there. My beloved child, I know you sometimes worry that you will miss what I am showing you, but I am not cruel. I do not hide guidance like a puzzle meant to punish you. I lead as a shepherd leads sheep, with patience, persistence, and care. John chapter 10 verse 27 says that my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. The hearing grows as the relationship grows. So slow down today. Notice what brings peace after prayer. Notice what continues returning with clarity, not obsession. Notice what feels aligned with love and truth. Notice what becomes lighter when placed in my hands. Notice where I am gently asking you to wait, release, speak, forgive, rest, or step forward. Small signs are not small when they come from me. They are pieces of guidance placed along your path like stones across a stream, each one helping you cross without being swept away. You do not need the whole bridge today. You need the next stone, and I am faithful to show it. I will not rush you, and I will not leave you without enough light today. As you learn to trust these small signs, you will also learn something more mature. I do not speak in only one way. I may guide through stillness, repetition, closed doors, open doors, inner peace, or a holy weight within your spirit. So keep your heart soft, my beloved child, because next I will teach you how I speak through different kinds of signs, each carrying its own purpose in the journey I am unfolding before you. My beloved child, now that you have learned to notice the small signs I place along your path, I want you to understand something deeper. I do not speak to you in only one form. I am not limited to one method, one feeling, one image, one door, or one pattern. If I always guided you in the same way, you might begin to trust the pattern more than my presence. I am teaching you to know me, not merely to recognize a formula. The signs I give are not mechanical codes. They are movements of relationship. I speak as a father who knows your heart, the season you are in, the wound that needs healing, the choice that needs wisdom, and the step that must be taken with peace. Sometimes I speak through stillness, not empty silence, not abandonment, not the painful quiet of being ignored, but a stillness that settles over your soul like calm water after a storm. In that stillness, the noise around you loses its authority. You may not hear a sentence, yet you become aware that I am near. You become less reactive. You stop rushing. You breathe again. Psalm 46 verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." My beloved child, stillness itself can be a sign. Sometimes I speak through a holy weight. You feel a seriousness about something, not fear, but a sense that this matter deserves prayer. You may be about to answer a message, make a decision, enter a place, or agree to something, and suddenly your spirit slows down. Do not despise that pause. A holy weight does not crush you. It steadies you. It tells you to bring the matter into my light before you move. Sometimes I speak through a gentle lightness. A step that once felt frightening begins to feel possible. A decision you surrendered begins to carry peace. A door you stopped forcing opens without pressure. Your heart feels spacious, not because every question is answered, but because my grace is resting on the next step. My beloved child, what comes from me often carries peace before it carries explanation. Sometimes I speak through scripture. You may read a verse you have read before, yet this time it reaches you differently. It does not merely pass through your mind. It sits inside your heart. It answers what you did not know how to ask. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12 says that my word is living and active. This is why one simple passage can cut through confusion, comfort, grief, correct pride, and strengthen faith. Sometimes I speak through people. Not everyone who speaks to you speaks from me, so you must remain discerning. Yet there are moments when a humble word, a wise warning, a caring question, or a sentence spoken in passing becomes a vessel of my guidance. I can use a friend, a stranger, a teacher, a pastor, or even a child to draw your attention back to what is true. Remember young Samuel. He did not understand at first that I was calling him. He needed Eli to help him recognize the voice he was hearing. My beloved child, sometimes I place wise people near you, not to replace my voice, but to help you become more sensitive to it. Sometimes I speak through closed feelings around old places. You enter a space that once felt normal, and now your spirit feels drained. You return to a habit that once comforted you, and now it leaves an emptiness you cannot ignore. You listen to conversations that once entertained you, and now they feel heavy. This is not always judgment against others. It may be my way of showing you that your season has changed. Sometimes I speak through new hunger. You want to pray more. You want quiet more than noise. You want truth more than approval. You want healing more than hiding. You want to forgive, not because the wound was small, but because carrying bitterness has become too costly. My beloved child, these desires can be signs that I am drawing you toward greater freedom. Sometimes I speak through interruption. Plans shift, timelines pause. A road you expected to take becomes blocked. A conversation does not continue. A connection loses momentum. You may feel frustrated, but not every interruption is opposition. Some interruptions are protection. Some delays are mercy. Some detours are my hand turning you away from a place. Remember Paul when he desired to go into certain regions, yet the Spirit prevented him. Acts chapter 16 shows that a blocked path was not failure. It became redirection. My beloved child, I can guide you by what opens, but I can also guide you by what refuses to open. Sometimes I speak through peace after surrender. You release the thing you were gripping, and suddenly your soul becomes quiet. The circumstances may not change immediately, but your inner struggle weakens. That peace is not denial. It is confirmation that you have placed the matter back into my hands. Colossians chapter 3 verse 15 says to let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Let my peace help you discern what your fear cannot. Sometimes I speak through repetition. The same theme returns in prayer, in scripture, in conversation, in thought, or in the circumstances around you. Do not become superstitious. Do not force meaning. But when something returns with peace, humility, and alignment with my word, bring it before me. I may be emphasizing what your hurried heart almost missed. My beloved child, all these signs have different purposes. Some awaken you, some warn you, some comfort you, some slow you down, some move you forward, some confirm what is already growing inside you. Some gently loosen what your hands have held too tightly. They are not random if they come from my Spirit. They are not meant to confuse you. They are meant to help you walk with me more closely. This is why you must know my character. My signs will not lead you into cruelty, pride, manipulation, dishonesty, obsession, or fear. They will lead you toward truth, love, patience, courage, repentance, wisdom, and peace. If a sign seems powerful but pulls you away from my nature, test it. If a feeling seems urgent but steals your peace and humility, wait. I do not need confusion to guide my children. My beloved child, I am not asking you to become tense or suspicious. I am asking you to become awake and tender. Let your heart stay open but anchored. Let your spirit stay sensitive but peaceful. Let your mind stay watchful but not frantic. I can speak in many ways, but my voice will always carry the fragrance of truth. And as you learn the many ways I speak, you will be ready to understand a kind of guidance I use. Sometimes I repeat a sign until your heart slows down enough to notice it clearly. And sometimes I close a door because I am protecting the direction of your life. This is where I will lead you next, my beloved child, into the meaning of repeated signs and closed doors. My beloved child, now that you understand I can speak through many kinds of signs, I want to bring your heart closer to two forms of guidance that you may have misunderstood. Sometimes I repeat a sign because your heart is moving too quickly to notice it, and sometimes I close a door because my love is protecting the direction of your life. Do not treat repetition as random too quickly. There are moments when the same word keeps returning, the same scripture comes to mind, the same theme appears in different conversations, or the same inner prompting rises again and again after prayer. My beloved child, I am not trying to make you anxious. I am placing emphasis where your attention needs to become still. In the world, repetition can feel ordinary. But when I repeat something with peace, wisdom, and alignment with my word, it is often because I am marking the path. A shepherd may call the sheep more than once, not because the shepherd is unsure, but because the sheep is drifting near the edge. A parent may repeat instruction not to burden the child, but to protect the child from danger. My beloved child, repeated signs can be mercy speaking patiently. You may have been hearing the same invitation in different ways. Return to prayer. Release what you are gripping. Wait before answering. Stop walking back into what drains you. Prepare for what is coming. Forgive, but do not return to bondage. Trust me with the outcome. When a holy message keeps returning, do not rush past it. Bring it before me and ask for clarity. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6 says to trust in the Lord with all your heart, not to lean on your own understanding, and to acknowledge me in all your ways, and I will make your path straight. Notice this, my beloved child. Straight paths are often formed by repeated guidance. One step is confirmed, then another, then another. I do not always give you the whole road, but I know how to keep directing your feet. But I also want to correct something gently. Not every repeated thing is from me. Sometimes your fear repeats itself. Sometimes old wounds repeat their warnings. Sometimes desire repeats what it wants until it sounds like guidance. That is why you must test repetition by my peace, my word, and the fruit it produces. A true sign will not make you frantic. It will lead you into steadier obedience. If a repeated thought pulls you into obsession, control, suspicion, or panic, pause before you call it my voice. Come to me. Let the noise settle. Ask whether the message carries love, truth, humility, and wisdom. My guidance can be firm, but it will not make your soul wild with confusion. It will call you deeper, not scatter you wider. My beloved child, repetition is one side of guidance. Closed doors are another. And I know closed doors can hurt. You prayed, you hoped, you imagined how it might work. You thought the opening was near. Then the conversation stopped. The opportunity faded. The connection weakened. The plan became blocked, or the answer did not come the way you expected. You may have thought, Father, did I fail? Did I hear wrong? Did you forget me? But I want you to listen with peace. A closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is redirection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is my hand stopping you from entering a room where your peace, purpose, or future would be damaged. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8 says that my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways. You see the door, I see what is behind it. You see the moment, I see the road connected to it. You see the disappointment, I see the danger you could not yet name. My beloved child, I do not close doors to mock your hope. I close them to guard what I am building. Think of Paul in the book of Acts. He wanted to carry the message into certain places, but the Spirit did not permit him. To the natural mind, that could have looked like a delay, a block, or a strange interruption. Yet the closed path guided him toward Macedonia, where another assignment was waiting. My beloved child, a blocked direction can still be divine movement. When I close a door, do not immediately accuse yourself. Ask me what I am teaching. Ask me what I am protecting. Ask me what timing I am adjusting. A door may close because it is not yours. A door may close because it is not time. A door may close because your heart is not yet ready to carry what is inside. A door may close because I have something cleaner, safer, and more aligned with my purpose. This is where your trust is formed. It is easy to praise me for open doors. It is deeper to trust me through closed ones. It is easy to believe when things move forward. It is deeper to believe when I say, not this way, not this person, not this season, not this path. My beloved child, my no is not the absence of love. Sometimes, my no is love standing at the doorway. Do not keep forcing what I have gently closed. Do not exhaust your soul trying to revive what I have allowed to end. Do not confuse stubbornness with faith. Faith does not mean breaking every lock. Faith means trusting me enough to stop pushing when my peace has lifted. There are doors that will open through obedience, and there are doors that remain shut through protection. You will learn to know the difference as you stay near me. A closed door from me may bring sadness, but underneath the sadness there will be a sense that I am still holding you. A blocked path from fear brings torment, but a blocked path from my wisdom eventually produces peace. Give me time to reveal the mercy hidden inside what disappointed you. My beloved child, I am guiding you precisely today. Repeated signs may say, pay attention, continue, prepare, or return. Closed doors may say pause, release, wait, or turn. Both can come from the same loving hand. One emphasizes the path, the other protects the path. One confirms direction, the other corrects direction. So do not fear repetition, and do not resent closed doors. Bring both to me. Let me teach you. Let me steady you. Let me show you the difference between a door closed by fear and a door closed by my wisdom. Let me show you the difference between a repeated warning from pain and a repeated confirmation from my spirit. And as your heart steadies, you will begin to notice another kind of guidance. Not only the door that closes, but the door that opens without forcing. Not the opportunity you must chase with panic, but the one that carries peace. This is where I will lead you next, my beloved child, because what I open does not require pressure to prove it is from me. My beloved child, after learning that closed doors can protect your direction, I want you to understand the nature of the doors I open. What comes from me does not need to be forced until your soul is exhausted. An open door from my hand may still require courage, effort, and faith, but it will not demand that you abandon your peace to prove it is mine. There is a difference between obedience and pressure. Obedience may stretch you, but it keeps you anchored. Pressure drives you with panic. Obedience says, take the next step with me. Pressure says, hurry, or you will lose everything. My beloved child, I do not guide you by terror. I guide you by truth, peace, wisdom, and the quiet assurance that my hand is ahead of you. Revelation chapter 3, verse 8 says, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. Notice this. When I set a door before you, you do not have to manipulate it open. You do not have to beg the wrong people to notice you. You do not have to break yourself trying to hold what I have released with grace. What I truly open carries my authority, not your striving. This does not mean every door will feel easy. Some open doors will ask you to step beyond comfort. Some will require discipline. Some will call you to forgive, speak honestly, begin again, or trust without seeing the full outcome. But beneath the challenge, there will be a deeper steadiness. You will sense that grace is present for the step. My beloved child, pressure often comes with noise. It tells you to compete, chase, impress, force, explain, and grasp. It makes you feel that if you stop pushing for one moment, the whole thing will disappear. But what I open does not depend on panic to stay open. If a door is truly held by my hand, fear does not have to become the hinge. Peace is not the absence of responsibility. Peace is the presence of my spirit within the responsibility. Philippians chapter 4, verse 7 says that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and mind. My peace guards you not only after you step, but also while you are discerning whether to step. Think of the Jordan River before my people crossed into the land I promised. The water did not part because they shouted in fear. It parted as the priests carried the ark and stepped forward in obedience. The way opened as they moved with me. My beloved child, some doors open when your foot meets faith, but even then the movement is not frantic, it is led. There are opportunities that appear attractive, but they demand that you lose yourself to keep them. They require constant performance, constant anxiety, constant begging for approval, or constant compromise of truth. Do not call every attractive door a divine door. A door can shine on the outside and still lead your soul into captivity. This is why you must discern the atmosphere around what opens. Ask yourself, does this draw me closer to me or farther away? Does it deepen peace or feed panic? Does it require courage or does it require self-betrayal? Does it invite obedience or demand compromise? Does it align with truth or does it ask you to ignore what I have already taught you? My beloved child, when I open a door, I do not tear your soul into pieces to get you through it. I may refine you, I may stretch you, I may call you to leave fear behind, but I will not ask you to become false in order to enter what is true. I will not ask you to abandon holiness to receive blessing. I will not ask you to chase what my hand has already prepared. Sometimes my open doors arrive gently. A conversation flows without being forced. An opportunity appears after you surrender control. A person comes with clarity instead of confusion. A path opens with timing you could not have arranged. You feel surprised but not disturbed. You feel humbled but not pressured. You feel called forward but not chased by fear. That gentle rightness is easy to overlook if you are addicted to struggle. If you have lived long in seasons where everything required fighting, you may distrust what comes with peace. You may think, if you are not anxious, it cannot be important. But my beloved child, my gifts do not always arrive wrapped in chaos. Sometimes they arrive quietly, and the calmness itself is the confirmation. 1 Kings chapter 17 tells of Elijah being sent to a widow in Zarephath. The provision did not look grand. It came through a simple instruction: a small household, a little flour, and a little oil. Yet my hand was there. Do not despise a door because it looks modest. Some of my most faithful openings begin in places the world would overlook. You may be waiting for a large doorway while ignoring the small one in front of you. A chance to heal, a chance to tell the truth, a chance to rest, a chance to reconnect with my word, a chance to serve quietly, a chance to step away from what drains you. These doors may not impress others, but they can lead your soul into freedom. My beloved child, do not force what requires peace. If you must become frantic to keep it, pause. If you must abandon your conscience to enter it, stop. If the door only stays open when you perform beyond your strength, bring it back to me. I am not the author of confusion. I do not bless you by destroying the very heart I am healing. Let my peace rule. Let my word test. Let wise counsel confirm. Let time reveal fruit. An open door from me can withstand prayer. It does not collapse because you pause to seek me. It does not vanish because you ask for wisdom. What is from me does not fear the light. So when a door opens, do not run blindly. Walk with me. When peace is present, receive it with humility. When warning is present, slow down with wisdom. When the path requires courage, do not mistake trembling for absence of grace. Courage can walk with peace. Faith can move while still learning. Trust can step forward without knowing every detail. My beloved child, I am teaching you that open doors carry peace, not pressure. They may call you higher, but they will not drag you into chaos. They may require obedience, but they will not demand that you betray my voice within you. They may surprise you, but they will not leave you spiritually abandoned. And as you learn to discern this, one fear will begin to loosen from your heart. The fear that you will miss what I intend to show you. So next I will speak to that fear directly, because my guidance is not fragile and my love is not so weak that one imperfect moment can make you lose the path I prepared. My beloved child, after I have spoken to you about doors that open with peace and not pressure, I want to quiet a fear that has been living in the back of your heart. You have wondered, what if I miss what you are trying to show me? What if I overlook the sign? What if I move too late, pause too long, trust too slowly, or misunderstand the moment? Listen to me with tenderness. You will not miss what I truly intend to show you when your heart is turned toward me. My guidance is not a fragile thread that breaks because you had one tired day. My will is not a hidden trap set before you to see whether you can solve it perfectly. I do not lead my children like a distant judge watching for mistakes. I lead as a father, as a shepherd, as the one who knows your weakness and still promises to guide you. Psalm chapter 32 verse 8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. My beloved child, notice the promise. I will instruct. I will teach. I will counsel. The weight of guidance does not rest on your perfection. It rests on my faithfulness. You may not recognize every small movement immediately. You may need time to understand why peace lifted, why a door paused, why a thought kept returning, why a place no longer felt right. That does not mean you have failed. Discernment grows like morning light. At first you see outlines, then you see more clearly. Then you begin to recognize what my peace has been saying all along. Do not let fear turn guidance into pressure. Fear says, if you miss this one moment, everything will collapse. But my spirit says, stay close, and I will keep leading you. Fear says you must decode every detail today. But my spirit says, walk with me, and I will reveal what matters in its time. Fear makes you suspicious of your own heart. My presence makes your heart steady. My beloved child, there are signs I place gently, because your soul is ready for gentle guidance. But when something truly matters, I know how to confirm it. I can repeat a word. I can close a path. I can strengthen peace. I can remove peace. I can send counsel. I can open scripture. I can delay what would harm you. I can bring the right confirmation at the right hour. I am not limited by your first response. Think of Jonah. He resisted the direction I gave him, and yet my purpose did not disappear because of his resistance. I corrected him. I pursued him. I brought him back toward the assignment. My beloved child, I am not encouraging disobedience. I am showing you that my mercy is stronger than your fear of missing the way. If I can redirect a running prophet, I can guide a sincere heart that wants to follow me. There is a difference between a careless heart and a learning heart. A careless heart ignores my voice and chooses darkness without concern. But a learning heart may tremble, question, pause, and still return to me. I know the difference. You may be imperfect, but you are seeking me. You may be unsure, but you are listening. You may not understand everything, but you are bringing your questions into my presence. That matters to me. Do not condemn yourself because you needed confirmation more than once. Gideon needed reassurance when fear stood close to his calling. I met him with patience. I did not despise his weakness. I shaped his courage until he could obey. My beloved child, I can strengthen your faith without shaming your trembling. I can confirm without feeding your fear. I know how to meet you where you are and still lead you forward, but I also want to teach you balance. Do not use your fear of missing my signs as a reason to delay obedience forever. When peace has settled, when wisdom has confirmed, when my word has aligned, and when the next step is clear enough, move with me. You do not need the whole staircase to take the next step. You only need my light beneath your feet. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 21 says that your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Sometimes that word comes as inner peace, sometimes as correction, sometimes as repeated confirmation, sometimes as the quiet knowing that it is time to stop asking and begin walking. My beloved child, when I make the way clear, trust me enough to move. You will not miss what I intend to show you, but you can make the journey heavier by living in constant fear. A child walking with a parent does not need to stare at every stone in the road. The child holds the hand. The parent sees farther. The parent knows when to slow down, when to turn, when to stop, and when to cross. I am asking you to hold my hand more than your own analysis. Let your heart breathe. Let your mind become less crowded. Let your desire for certainty surrender to my presence. I know how to guide through peace, through scripture, through counsel, through timing, through closed doors, through open doors, and through the stillness that comes after prayer. Nothing I truly need you to know will be lost because you came to me humbly. My beloved child, I am not training you to become obsessed with signs. I am training you to become rooted in relationship. The sign is never greater than the one who sends it. The door is never greater than the one who opens it. The path is never greater than the one who walks with you. If your eyes become fixed only on signs, you may become restless. If your heart becomes fixed on me, signs will find their proper place. So release the fear that you are one mistake away from losing your future. I am bigger than one missed moment. I am wiser than your confusion. I am nearer than your uncertainty. I am patient with your growth. I am faithful to complete what I begin. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 says that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. My beloved child, I began this work. I awakened you. I stirred you. I placed light along your path. I will not abandon the work of my hands. Even when you move slowly, my hand remains steady. Even when you need more time, my patience remains near. I am not hurried by your learning. I am not weary of guiding you. Rest in this. You are being led. You are being taught. You are being corrected with mercy and guided with love. And now that fear is loosening, I want to show you how to keep your heart awake without striving, without panic, and without turning discernment into a burden your soul was never meant to carry. My beloved child, now that I have quieted the fear that you might miss what I intend to show you, I want to teach you how to remain awake without striving. An awakened heart is not a tense heart. A discerning spirit is not a restless spirit. You do not have to live on edge in order to hear me. Some of you have thought that staying spiritually alert means watching everything with suspicion, measuring every feeling, analyzing every conversation, and asking all day, is this a sign? Is this not a sign? My beloved child, that is not wakefulness. That is pressure wearing spiritual language. I am not calling you into anxious searching. I am calling you into peaceful nearness. To keep your heart awake means to keep it soft before me. It means you are not so crowded with noise that my whisper is buried. It means you are honest enough to admit when something feels wrong, humble enough to wait when you do not understand, and quiet enough to receive correction without defending every old pattern. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 2 says to guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. Guarding your heart does not mean building walls around it until nothing. It means keeping the inner room clean enough for my peace to move freely. It means not allowing bitterness, hurry, fear, comparison, or constant noise to take over the place where my voice is meant to be heard. My beloved child, striving makes your soul tight. It makes you believe you must earn guidance by thinking harder, praying louder, or becoming perfect enough to deserve clarity. But guidance is not a wage I pay to the exhausted. Guidance is part of my care for the child who walks with me. You receive it through communion, not through panic. Think of a candle in a quiet room. If the air is calm, even a small flame can be seen clearly. But if the room is filled with rushing wind, the flame flickers wildly and becomes hard to read. Your heart is similar. When you keep allowing every voice, every fear, every urgent demand, and every old wound to rush through you without pause, even the light I place within you feels difficult to recognize. So I invite you into stillness, not as punishment, but as shelter. Psalm chapter 46 verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Notice, my beloved child, it does not say, "Be frantic and prove that I am God." It says, "Be still and know." There is a knowing that comes only when the soul stops trying to control every outcome. This stillness is not laziness. It is not avoiding responsibility. It is the posture of a heart that says, "Father, I am here. I am listening. I will not run ahead of you. I will not fill every silence with my own interpretation. I will wait until your peace becomes clear." There are simple ways to keep your heart awake. Return to my word before the noise of the world writes the first sentence of your day. Pray honestly, not beautifully. Tell me what is heavy. Tell me what is unclear. Tell me where you feel tempted to force an answer. Let your soul breathe in my presence before you make decisions from pressure. Keep your heart awake by paying attention to what repeatedly steals your peace. Not to condemn yourself, but to notice what needs to be surrendered. Keep your heart awake by forgiving before bitterness becomes your filter. Keep your heart awake by resting when exhaustion begins to sound like truth. A tired mind can mistake fear for wisdom and heaviness for discernment. My beloved child, do not confuse constant activity with faithfulness. Elijah heard me in the gentle whisper after noise had passed. He could not receive that whisper while being governed by fear and exhaustion. I gave him rest, food, quiet, and then direction. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is slow down enough to become human again before me. You cannot discern clearly while living divided. If you say yes to everything, your soul becomes too crowded to notice my no, If you keep returning to places that drain you, your spirit becomes too heavy to recognize my peace. If you keep feeding your mind with fear, your imagination will begin to sound like prophecy. This is why I ask you to guard what enters you. But hear me gently. Guarding your heart is not becoming suspicious of everyone. It is not closing yourself to love. It is not living afraid of the future. It is choosing what helps you remain clear before me. It is letting go of what keeps pulling you into confusion. It is learning that peace is easier to recognize when you stop feeding the storms. My beloved child, an awake heart is a yielded heart. It does not demand that I explain everything before it trusts. It does not need to be loud to be strong. It does not need to be certain about every detail to take the next faithful step. It simply stays near enough to hear correction, comfort, warning, and invitation. John chapter 15 verse 4 says, "To abide in me, and I in you." This is the secret. Abiding, remaining, staying, not visiting me only when you are desperate for a sign, not running to me only when confusion becomes painful, but walking with me in ordinary moments so that guidance becomes natural instead of emergency-driven. When you abide, discernment grows quietly. You begin to sense when peace is present. You begin to know when a decision needs more time. You begin to feel when a conversation should be answered with grace and when it should be left alone. You begin to recognize the difference between my invitation and your impulse. This is not because you became flawless. It is because you became close. Closeness teaches the ear. A child who spends time with a parent recognizes the parent's voice even in a crowded room. In the same way, the more you live near me, the less you will need to strain to know when I am speaking. So release the burden of striving. Let your heart be awake but not afraid. Let your spirit be sensitive but not nervous. Let your mind be watchful but not crowded with endless interpretation. I am able to guide a calm heart more gently than a panicked heart will allow. My beloved child, keep the inner lamp tended. Keep your life honest. Keep your peace guarded. Keep your soul near my presence. When you do this, you will not need to chase signs with desperation. You will learn to recognize what carries my life and what does not. And from this place of peaceful wakefulness, I must teach you one more important truth. An awake heart must also be a balanced heart. You must learn to discern without manufacturing meaning, because not everything that moves around you is a message from me, and true maturity knows how to listen without forcing heaven to speak too soon. My beloved child, from the place of peaceful wakefulness, I must teach you a truth that will protect your heart. Discernment is not the same as forcing meaning onto everything you see. A mature soul learns to listen, but it does not panic. It learns to notice, but it does not invent. It stays open to my guidance without turning every moment into a puzzle. I know why you may be tempted to do this. You want certainty. You want to avoid pain. You want to make the right decision. You want to know whether a person, a door, a delay, a dream, a repeated word, or a sudden feeling is from me. My beloved child, I understand your desire to be guided, but guidance was never meant to become a burden that steals your peace. Not every coincidence is a command. Not every emotion is a revelation. Not every delay is a hidden message. Not every open door is my approval. Not every closed door is my correction. This is why I am teaching you discernment, not superstition. I want your spirit to be sensitive, but also steady. I want your heart to be tender, but not tossed around by every small thing. 1 John chapter 4 verse 1 says to test the spirits to see whether they are from God. Testing does not mean suspicion toward everything. It means humility. It means you do not immediately crown your feeling as my voice. It means you bring what you sense into my presence and allow my word, my peace, and wise counsel to weigh it. My beloved child, when something is truly from me, it does not need you to exaggerate it to make it holy. My guidance carries its own weight. It may be gentle, but it will not require manipulation. It may be quiet, but it will not need you to twist facts until they fit your desire. A true sign does not demand that you force the door. It invites you into peace, patience, and obedience. Be careful when fear starts interpreting for you. Fear can make an ordinary silence feel like rejection. Fear can turn a small delay into a disaster. Fear can make a simple memory feel like instruction to go backward. Fear can dress itself in spiritual language and say, "This must be a sign," when it is really an old wound asking for control. Desire can also interpret for you. When you want something badly, you may gather pieces of life and arrange them until they seem to say what you want to hear. My beloved child, I do not shame you for desire, but I do ask you to surrender it. A surrendered desire can be guided. An unsurrendered desire will keep trying to guide itself. James chapter 1 verse 5 says that if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously. So ask me for wisdom. Do not rush to label everything. Do not build a decision on one feeling alone. Do not make a life direction from one passing impression. Bring it to me. Let it sit in prayer. Let it be tested by truth. Let peace have time to speak. There is a holy simplicity I want to restore in you. You do not need to read the whole world as though every leaf, every number, every phrase, and every pause must carry secret meaning. That kind of searching can exhaust the soul. It can move you away from trust and into constant interpretation. My beloved child, I did not call you to live trapped inside decoding. I called you to walk with me. Think of the disciples on the road to Emmaus. They walked with my son and did not recognize him at first, yet he did not shame them for not understanding immediately. He opened the scriptures. He broke bread. Their hearts burned with recognition in the right moment. My beloved child, I know how to reveal myself without forcing you into frantic guessing. A true sign will agree with my character. It will not lead you into pride. It will not encourage cruelty. It will not demand dishonesty. It will not feed obsession. It will not push you to control another person. It will not make you abandon wisdom. What comes from me leads toward love, truth, humility, patience, correction, courage, and peace. Colossians chapter 3 verse 15 says, to let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. The word rule carries the sense of deciding like an umpire, calling what belongs and what does not. My peace helps you know when to move, when to wait, when to release, and when to stop interpreting. If your interpretation removes peace and produces frantic pressure, pause. My beloved child, you can be wrong about a feeling and still be loved by me. You can misunderstand a moment and still be guided by me. You can need time and still be held by me. Do not make discernment a place of shame. I am not standing over you with anger when you are learning. I am walking with you, teaching your senses through relationship, but I also ask you to be honest. If you keep calling your fear a sign, you will struggle to obey. If you keep calling your desire a sign, you will struggle to surrender. If you keep calling every closed door an attack, you may miss my protection. If you keep calling every open door my will, you may walk into pressure without peace. Balance is part of maturity. Discernment has roots. It grows through scripture, prayer, obedience, community, humility, and time. It grows when you stop hiding from truth. It grows when you learn to say, Father, I want this, but I want your will more. It grows when you stop demanding instant answers and let me form wisdom slowly inside you. My beloved child, do not fear the quiet space between sensing and knowing. That space can be holy. You do not need to fill it with explanations. Sometimes I allow a sign to remain simple. Sometimes I allow silence after a sign, so your heart will stay dependent on me, not on your own interpretation. So when something catches your attention, bring it to me without panic. Ask what fruit it produces. Ask whether it agrees with my word. Ask whether peace remains after prayer. Ask whether wisdom confirms it. Ask whether it leads you closer to love and truth or deeper into control and fear. I will help you discern without manufacturing meaning. I will make your heart awake and balanced. I will teach you to notice without obsessing, to listen without rushing, to wait without fear, and to move without needing to explain every detail. My beloved child, this maturity will bring you into deeper confidence. You will stop living as one who must decode everything perfectly. You will begin living as one held by the one who guides faithfully. And from that steady place, I will lead you next into spiritual confidence, where you no longer walk in fear of signs, but in trust of the God who sends them with grace and clarity. My beloved child, from the steady place where you no longer need to force meaning onto every moment, I now invite you to step into spiritual confidence. Not confidence in your own ability to understand everything perfectly. Not confidence in never making a mistake. Not confidence in signs themselves, but confidence in me, the one who guides you, corrects you, holds you, and walks with you through every season. Spiritual confidence is not arrogance. It does not say, I know everything. It says, I know the one who leads me. It does not rush ahead with pride. It walks forward with trust. It does not ignore wisdom. It welcomes wisdom without becoming paralyzed by fear. My beloved child, this is the confidence I am forming in you. You have spent too long afraid of getting it wrong, afraid of choosing too soon, afraid of waiting too long, afraid of missing the quiet sign, afraid that one imperfect decision could erase my purpose for your life. But I want you to hear me clearly. Your future is not held together by your perfect interpretation. It is held together by my faithful hand. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 says that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind does not mean you will always know every answer immediately. It means your inner life can become steady under my care. It means fear no longer has permission to rule your decisions. It means you can pause, pray, listen, and move without being driven by panic. My beloved child, spiritual confidence grows when you begin to believe that I am more committed to guiding you than you are capable of wandering. I see what you cannot see. I know the path beyond the turn. I understand the timing behind the delay. I can close what you would have chased. I can open what you could never have arranged. I can redirect what seemed wasted and weave it into purpose. Think of Joseph. His road did not look clear while he was walking it. The pit did not look like preparation. The prison did not look like promotion. The delay did not look like destiny. Yet I was with him in hidden places, shaping him for a position he could not have imagined. My beloved child Joseph did not understand every sign along the way, but my hand did not leave him. This is what I want you to know. You may not understand every chapter while you are inside it, but I am still writing with wisdom. You may not recognize every movement immediately, but I am still guiding. You may feel uncertain in the moment, but uncertainty does not mean abandonment. Sometimes faith is simply staying with me when the meaning has not fully opened yet. Spiritual confidence allows you to live without needing every answer before you obey. It allows you to take the next faithful step while still trusting me with the parts you cannot see. It allows you to stop treating delay as rejection and stop treating silence as absence. It allows your soul to breathe because you know guidance is not a one-time event. It is a living relationship. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 says, Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. My beloved child, this is not a distant promise. This is how I walk with you. I strengthen you when you feel unsure. I help you when wisdom is needed. I uphold you when your steps feel weak. So do not wait until you feel completely fearless before you move. Courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is walking with me while trembling slowly loses its authority. You may take a step with a soft voice, a careful heart, and a prayer on your lips. That can still be obedience. That can still be faith. That can still be spiritual confidence. My beloved child, I am teaching you to trust the calm yes and the peaceful no. When my peace rests on a step, do not keep asking fear for permission. When my peace lifts from a path, do not keep negotiating with desire. Let your heart become simple. Not careless, but simple. Not shallow, but clear. A soul that trusts me does not need to argue endlessly with what peace has already shown. There will be times when others do not understand your confidence. They may ask why you are waiting. They may ask why you released something. They may not understand why you said no to what looked attractive or yes to what looked small. My beloved child, you are not called to explain every movement of my hand to those who do not carry the same assignment. Walk humbly, but do not surrender my peace to public opinion. Remember Abraham when I called him to leave what was familiar. He went without knowing the full destination. Hebrews chapter 11 says he obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. That is not blind recklessness. That is relationship deep enough to move with the one who speaks. My beloved child, confidence often looks like obedience before the map is complete. I do not ask you to become reckless. I ask you to become rooted. Rooted in my word, rooted in prayer, rooted in peace, rooted in wise counsel, rooted in the truth that I am not a God of confusion. When you are rooted, you can bend without breaking. You can wait without despair. You can step without panic. You can release without believing your life is over. Spiritual confidence also means trusting my correction. If you begin walking in a direction that is not right, I know how to speak. I know how to slow you. I know how to send warning, wisdom, or restraint. You do not need to live terrified of every step. A child learning to walk does not become unloved because the step is unsteady. The parent remains near. My beloved child, let this confidence settle deeper than emotion. You are guided. You are guarded. You are being taught. You are not alone at the crossroads. You are not abandoned in the silence. You are not forgotten between the promise and the visible answer. I am with you in the process, and my presence is greater than your uncertainty. So lift your head gently. Breathe again. Stop shrinking under the fear of misreading every sign. Let your faith become quieter, deeper, steadier. You do not need to prove that you are spiritual by being anxious about everything. You show trust by staying close, listening well, and moving when I give enough light. And now from this confidence I will teach you how to live according to my signs, not as someone chasing signals, but as someone walking in rhythm with my guidance. For signs are not only meant to be noticed, they are meant to help you move, pause, release, and obey with peace. My beloved child, now that spiritual confidence is rising within you, I want to teach you how to live by the signs I place along your path. Signs are not given only to make you wonder. They are not given so you can collect confirmations and still remain unmoved. They are given to help you walk with me in real obedience. A sign is not the destination. It is a lamp for the step. It points, slows, confirms, warns, or invites. If you only admire the lamp but never take the step, it illuminates the purpose of my beloved child. I am not training you to become fascinated with guidance. I am training you to become faithful within guidance. There are moments when a sign says move. You have prayed, you have waited, peace has settled, wisdom has confirmed. My word does not resist the direction. The door is not forced, but it is open. In that moment, continuing to delay may no longer be patience. It may be fear wearing the clothing of caution. When I give enough light, take the step. There are other moments when a sign says pause. Something may look attractive, but your spirit feels a holy restraint. The timing feels unsettled. Peace has not rested there. The path may not be evil, but it may not be ready. My beloved child, pausing with me is not weakness. Sometimes waiting is the most obedient movement of all. Psalm 119 verse 105 says that, "My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path." A lamp does not argue with the darkness. It simply gives enough light for where your feet must go. You do not need to see the full valley. You need to walk in the light I have given now. Living by my signs means you stop demanding the entire map before you obey the next instruction. You stop saying, "Father, I will move," when I understand everything. You begin saying, "Father, if you are showing me this step, I will walk with you here. If you ask me to wait, I will wait with trust. If you ask me to release, I will release without calling it defeat." My beloved child, this is how Israel learned in the wilderness. When the cloud moved, they moved. When the cloud rested, they stayed. Their maturity was not measured by speed, but by alignment. They were not praised for running ahead. They were not called faithful because they made their own schedule. They were led because they watched my presence and adjusted their steps to my rhythm. You are learning the same lesson. There are seasons when I ask you to move after a long stillness. Do not cling to the camp when the cloud is lifting. There are seasons when I ask you to stay while your emotions want motion. Do not call stillness failure when my presence is resting there. Movement and stillness can both be obedience when they follow my leading. Signs also teach you when to release. Sometimes I repeat a warning until you stop returning to what drains your soul. Sometimes I close a door until your hands loosen. Sometimes I allow a connection plan or desire to grow heavy because I am helping you lay it down. Release is not always loss. Sometimes release is how I return your life to peace. Signs also teach you when to prepare. You may not be called to move today, but you may be called to strengthen your spirit, simplify your life, forgive what has been poisoning your heart, study what you will need, rest before the next assignment, or become honest about what can no longer continue. Preparation is not empty. It is obedience before visibility. My beloved child, do not separate discernment from action. Some people ask for signs because they do not want to obey what they already know. They keep asking for confirmation while refusing the clear light already given. I say this gently because I know fear can make you ask again and again. But when I have spoken through peace, word, wisdom, and timing, trust me enough to respond. James chapter 1 speaks of being doers of the word, not hearers only. My beloved child, hearing without response can become self-deception. If I show you that something is damaging, your soul, do not only call it a sign. Step away. If I show you that a path carries peace, do not only talk about it, walk in it. If I show you that forgiveness is needed, do not only feel moved, begin the work with me. Living by signs requires humility. You may obey one step and still not know the next. You may move forward and still need daily guidance. You may release something and still feel grief. Obedience does not always feel triumphant. Sometimes it feels quiet, tender, and uncertain, but beneath it, there is peace because you know you are not acting alone. Remember Peter when he stepped out on the water. He did not receive a full explanation of how the waves would hold him. He heard the call and came. His step was not based on control. It was based on the voice of the one calling him. My beloved child, when I call you, the safest place is not always the boat that feels familiar. It is the step taken with me. Yet even here, do not rush into foolishness and call it faith. Peter stepped because my son called him. Faith is not leaping into anything because you want drama. Faith responds to my voice. True obedience is not reckless. It is responsive. It moves when I call, waits when I restrain, and rests when I say enough for today. My beloved child, I am teaching you a life of rhythm, a life where you no longer react to every fear or chase every opportunity, a life where signs help you remain aligned, not obsessed, a life where peace becomes a companion, scripture becomes a foundation, prayer becomes breath, and obedience becomes the natural next step of love. You will not always feel strong when you obey. That is all right. I am not asking for performance. I am asking for surrender. Bring me your hesitation. Bring me your trembling. Bring me your questions. Then follow the light I give. One faithful step is precious to me. As you learn to live by my signs, your life will become less divided. Your inner world and outer steps will begin to agree. What you discern in prayer will shape how you choose in public. What I whisper in stillness will guide how you answer people, handle doors, release burdens, and enter new seasons. And now, my beloved child, I will show you that this discernment is not only for paths, opportunities, and seasons. It is also for the people who enter your life. The same peace that guides your steps must also guide your connections, because not every relationship that appears before you carries my life, my freedom, or my love for your healing and future. My beloved child, now that you understand, my signs are meant to guide your steps. I want to bring that same discernment into the area where many hearts become most vulnerable. The peace that guides your path must also guide your connections. The light that shows you where to walk must also show you who is walking beside you. Not every person who enters your life is sent to remain. Not every open conversation is an open covenant. Not every strong emotion is love. Not every familiar feeling is safety. My beloved child, this is why I am teaching you discernment, not only for doors, opportunities, and seasons, but also for relationships. You have sometimes believed that if someone arrived at the right moment, they must have been sent by me. You have sometimes mistaken attention for care, chemistry, for confirmation, and longing for love. You have sometimes held on to people because you feared silence more than misalignment. But I am gently lifting you out of that old way of choosing. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 says, to guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. Guarding your heart does not mean refusing every connection. It means allowing me to teach you which connections carry life, which ones require distance, and which ones are only familiar because they resemble wounds you have already known. My beloved child, loneliness can make the wrong door look warm. Unhealed pain can make control feel like protection. Low self-worth can make small attention feel like deep love. Fear of abandonment can make you cling to someone who was never meant to carry your heart. This is why you must not choose only from emotion. Bring your connections into my light. When a relationship is from my hand, it will not pull you away from truth. It may challenge you to grow, but it will not demand that you abandon your soul. It may reveal areas that need healing, but it will not keep reopening wounds for control. It may require patience, forgiveness, and humility, but it will not train you to live in fear. Matthew chapter 7 verse 16 says, "You will recognize them by their fruit." My beloved child, learn to look at fruit, not only promises. Words can sound tender while patterns remain harmful. Apologies can be repeated while change never appears. Attraction can feel strong while peace keeps leaving. Do not ignore the fruit because you are attached to the possibility. I want you to notice what a connection produces in you. Does it draw you closer to me, or does it make prayer feel distant? Does it strengthen your peace, or does it keep your heart in constant unrest? Does it honor the person I am forming, or does it pressure you to become smaller? Does it make honesty safer, or does it punish you for speaking the truth? My beloved child, some relationships are assignments of compassion but not places of covenant. Some people need your prayer but not your access. Some connections can be treated with kindness but still require boundaries. Love does not mean giving every person the same level of closeness. Even my son loved deeply, yet he did not entrust himself to everyone. John chapter 2 says that Jesus knew what was in man. He did not live suspiciously, but he lived discerningly. That is the difference I am teaching you. Suspicion expects harm everywhere. Discernment sees clearly without hatred. Suspicion builds walls from fear. Discernment builds boundaries from wisdom. Suspicion says no one can be trusted. Discernment says, Father, show me what is true. You may have been trained to ignore your spirit in order to keep peace with others. You may have stayed quiet when something felt wrong. You may have explained away disrespect because you wanted connection to work. You may have called chaos passion and called inconsistency mystery. My beloved child, I am bringing clarity where old pain once created confusion. A connection that comes from me will not require you to lose your voice to keep it. It will not make you afraid to be honest. It will not punish your growth. It will not treat your boundaries as betrayal. It will not make you choose between my peace and their approval. Any relationship that demands you disconnect from me in order to remain connected to them is not carrying my life for you. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14 speaks of not being unequally yoked. This is not only about labels, it is about direction, spirit values, and the weight of what pulls your life. If two people are joined but moving toward different masters, the heart becomes strained. My beloved child, I do not want you dragged by a bond that keeps resisting the path I am leading you on. This does not mean the right relationship will be perfect. Healthy connection still has conversations, growth, learning, and moments that require grace. But there is a difference between growth and torment. Growth may stretch you, but torment keeps breaking you. Growth brings truth into the light. Torment keeps truth buried under fear. Growth leads to maturity. Torment leads to exhaustion. Remember Ruth. Her loyalty to Naomi was not built on control or pressure. It carried faithfulness, humility, and a shared movement toward the God of Israel. That connection did not shrink Ruth. It positioned her. It led her into a field of provision and into a future she could not have planned. My beloved child, connections that carry my life do not imprison your destiny. They help position it. I am not asking you to become cold. I am asking you to become clear. Keep loving with a pure heart, but do not confuse love with unlimited access. Keep forgiving, but do not return to the same cage just because someone knows how to speak softly after causing pain. Keep hoping, but let hope be anchored in truth, not in fantasy. My beloved child, I am healing the part of you that thought being chosen by someone was the same as being loved well. I am healing the part that thought attention was enough. I am healing the part that stayed where peace had already lifted. I am teaching you that a relationship can look attractive and still not be aligned with my purpose. You are not being hardened. You are being healed, steadied, and taught to choose with holy wisdom now. So bring every connection to me, not with fear, but with surrender. Ask me to show you fruit. Ask me to reveal patterns. Ask me to strengthen your boundaries. Ask me to help you recognize peace, not just excitement. Ask me to help you choose what carries life, not merely what fills an empty space. And as I teach you to discern relationships with wisdom, I will give you a clearer standard. You will no longer measure connection by intensity alone. You will look for the three pillars that reveal whether love is healthy, respect, protection, and freedom. This is where I will lead you next, my beloved child, because true love never asks you to shrink in order to stay. My beloved child, now that I have shown you that discernment must also enter your relationships, I want to place a standard before your heart. You are no longer to measure love only by emotion, attention, words, or intensity. You must learn to recognize the foundation beneath a connection. The foundation I set before you is respect, protection, and freedom. These three are not decorations added to love after it has already been formed. They are part of the structure of love itself. If respect is missing, the connection will wound your dignity. If protection is missing, the connection will leave your heart exposed to harm. If freedom is missing, the connection will begin to look like love while quietly becoming control. My beloved child, respect is the first pillar. True respect sees you as a soul I created, not as an object to use a role to fill or a place where someone can unload their emptiness. Respect listens without rushing to dominate. Respect speaks truth without crushing. Respect allows your voice to exist. Respect does not require you to shrink, perform, beg, or become less alive so another person can feel more secure. Psalm 139 verse 14 says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. This is not a phrase to repeat only when you feel strong. It is a truth over your whole life. Anyone who comes close to you must learn to honor the work of my hands. They may not understand every part of you, but they must not treat your soul as something common or disposable. Respect does not mean everyone always agrees. Healthy love can disagree with patience. It can correct with humility. It can speak honestly without contempt. But where there is mockery, constant dismissal, humiliation, manipulation, or a pattern of making you feel small, do not call that respect. I did not create you to live under a voice that keeps reducing what I am restoring. My beloved child, protection is the second pillar, but you must understand it rightly. Protection is not domination. Protection is not someone making every choice for you. Protection is not suspicion dressed as care. True protection stands beside you, not above you. It helps guard your peace, your purpose, your body, your heart, and your walk with me while still honoring the freedom I gave you. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 4 says, "Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. Love is not proud." My beloved child, protection without kindness becomes control. Concern without patience becomes pressure. Guidance without humility becomes possession. If someone says they are protecting you, but their protection leaves you afraid, silenced, isolated, or unable to breathe, then it is not the protection that reflects my heart. True protection brings safety, not fear. It helps you become more honest, not more hidden. It makes confession easier, not because weakness is exploited, but because love covers with wisdom. It shields you from harm without becoming the harm. It stands with you in difficulty without using your vulnerability as a weapon later. Remember Boaz in the story of Ruth. He noticed her need, but he did not exploit it. He offered safety in the field, spoke with honor, and followed what was right. He did not use her vulnerability to control her. He protected her dignity while allowing the process to unfold in righteousness. My beloved child, that is a picture of protection with honor. It does not trap, it shelters. Freedom is the third pillar. Where my spirit is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 17. This freedom does not mean selfishness, rebellion, or a life without responsibility. It means love does not imprison the person it claims to cherish. Love does not demand that you surrender your conscience, your calling, your friendships, your healing, or your voice in order to keep the relationship alive. My beloved child, freedom in love means you can grow without being punished. You can speak without being threatened. You can rest without being accused. You can say no without being made to feel evil. You can obey me without someone treating your obedience as rejection. Freedom means the connection makes room for the person I am forming, not only the version that is convenient for someone else. Do not confuse attachment with covenant. Attachment may cling because it fears loss. Covenant loves with responsibility, honor, and trust. Attachment says, if you change, I will punish you. Covenant says, as God forms you, I will seek to love you rightly. Attachment demands possession. Covenant practices faithfulness. Attachment is driven by insecurity. Covenant is strengthened by truth. My beloved child, I know you have sometimes called control love because it felt intense. Someone wanted to know where you were, what you were doing, who you spoke to, and what you felt, and you thought, perhaps this means I matter. But love that comes from me does not measure value through surveillance. You matter because I created you, redeemed you, and called you mine. No human being has to cage you to prove your worth. I am giving you a new standard because I do not want you to return to old patterns. You once tolerated less because you believed less was all you could receive. You once confused being needed with being loved. You once believed that if someone feared losing you, that meant they truly valued you. But fear of losing is not always love. Sometimes it is possession afraid of losing access. My beloved child, look for fruit. In a respectful connection, your dignity grows. In a protective connection, your peace becomes safer. In a free connection, your spirit can breathe. You do not become perfect, and neither does the other person, but the direction of the relationship leads toward truth, healing, humility, and life. If a connection lacks these pillars, do not rush to excuse it because the emotions feel powerful. Strong emotion cannot replace holy structure. Beautiful words cannot replace fruit. Tears cannot replace repentance. Apologies cannot replace change. Promises cannot replace peace. A relationship without respect, protection, and freedom may still feel intense, but intensity is not the same as alignment. Ask me for courage to honor this standard. Ask me to heal the part of you that fears losing people more than losing peace. Ask me to strengthen the part of you that knows love should not require self-abandonment. Ask me to help you recognize what is healthy before old hunger pulls you back into what is familiar. My beloved child, I am not raising your standard to make love impossible. I am raising it so love can become pure, safe, and life-giving. The right connection will not ask you to be less alive. It will help you walk fully in the light I have placed within you. And now I must speak directly, because if respect, protection, and freedom are the pillars of healthy love, then control is a structure that imitates love while stealing its breath. Next, I will teach you why true love does not control and why anything that cages your soul cannot be called my gift. My beloved child, after I have placed before you the pillars of respect, protection, and freedom, I must speak clearly about what love is not. True love does not control. It does not hold your soul by fear. It does not tighten around your life until your voice becomes smaller, your peace becomes weaker, and your heart forgets how to breathe. Control often arrives wearing the language of care. It says, I only worry because I love you. It says, I need to know everything because you matter to me. It says, if you loved me, you would prove it by giving up more of yourself. Love may ask for honesty, faithfulness, and responsibility, but love does not demand the surrender of your God-given freedom. 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. If a relationship keeps you afraid to speak, afraid to grow, afraid to disagree, afraid to obey me, or afraid to be fully honest, then something in that connection has not been purified by my love. Fear may create attachment, but it cannot create holy union. Control is born from fear of loss. It tries to manage another person because it does not trust love, truth, or me. It watches pressures, accuses, tests, and tightens. It may call itself protection, but protection guards your life. Control guards someone else's insecurity. Protection helps you stand. Control makes you shrink. Protection strengthens peace. Control feeds anxiety. My beloved child, I know you may have once mistaken control for devotion. When someone became jealous, you thought it meant you were valuable. When someone needed constant access, you thought it meant you were loved. When someone reacted strongly to your independence, you thought it meant your presence mattered. But intensity is not always intimacy. Possession is not covenant. Fear of losing access is not the same as honor. I do not want you to live inside love that makes you disappear. I did not shape you with a voice so someone could silence it. I did not place light in you so someone could cover it to feel safer. I did not give you gifts, wisdom, tenderness, strength, and calling so another person could reduce you to the version of you they can manage. Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 says that Christ has set you free, so stand firm and do not submit again to a yoke of slavery. My beloved child, this applies to your soul. Do not return to bonds I have broken, simply because the bond sometimes speaks sweetly. Do not accept a cage because it has flowers around the door. A cage is still a cage, even when called love. True love can have boundaries, but it does not use boundaries as weapons. True love can ask for trust, but it does not demand blind surrender. True love can express concern, but it does not punish your freedom. True love can say, "This hurts me," or "I need honesty," or "Let us walk in truth," but it will not say, "Become smaller so I can feel secure." Remember the father in the story of the prodigal son. He loved deeply, but he did not chain his son to the house. His love did not control the son into obedience. It waited, watched, and welcomed when the son returned. My beloved child, my love is strong, but it is not coercive. I invite, call, correct, and restore, but I do not make love by force. This is why you must not confuse fear-based attachment with spiritual connection. A person may cling to you because they are wounded, but their wound does not give them permission to own you. A person may have been hurt before, but their past pain does not give them the right to monitor your every breath. Compassion can understand pain, but wisdom must still recognize control. My beloved child, you are allowed to notice when a connection tightens your soul. You are allowed to admit when you feel drained after every conversation. You are allowed to recognize when your peace is being traded for their mood. You are allowed to bring the truth into my light, even if part of you still cares. Love does not require blindness. There is a holy difference between sacrifice and self-abandonment. Sacrifice gives from love while remaining rooted in me. Self-abandonment gives from fear until the soul becomes empty. Sacrifice can be beautiful when it flows from truth. Self-abandonment becomes bondage when it is used to keep someone from leaving. My beloved child, I never asked you to lose yourself to prove you can love. When love reflects me, it makes room for growth. It does not punish healing. It does not fear your becoming. It does not treat your boundaries as rejection. It does not twist your need for peace into selfishness. It honors the work I am doing in you, even when that work changes old patterns. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17 says, "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom." Freedom is not chaos. Freedom is the atmosphere where truth can breathe. In a connection that carries my spirit, you do not have to hide honest thought. You do not have to walk carefully around constant emotional traps. You do not have to shrink your calling so someone else can feel taller. My beloved child, control will often test your limits. It may begin small, a little guilt when you choose rest, a little accusation when you do not respond quickly, a little pressure to explain yourself beyond what is healthy, a little discomfort when you grow stronger. Pay attention. What is small in the beginning can become heavy if ignored. But do not respond with hatred. Respond with truth. Bring the connection before me. Ask for wisdom. Seek counsel when needed. Set boundaries. Do not repay control with control. Do not let fear make you cruel. Let my peace make you clear. I am not teaching you this so you become suspicious of love. I am teaching you so you can recognize love more purely. True love will not need to own you to remain near you. It will not need to dim you to feel bright. It will not need to frighten you to keep you faithful. It will stand with you in truth, and both hearts will have space to grow before me. My beloved child, anything that cages your soul is not my gift. Anything that requires you to betray your conscience is not my blessing. Anything that calls control love is asking you to forget what my spirit has taught you. Do not forget. You were made for love that carries truth, safety, freedom, and peace. And as I free you from the confusion between love and control, I will now show you where healthy love truly begins. It does not begin in fear of being alone. It does not begin in emptiness reaching for someone to complete you. It begins in wholeness in the soul I am restoring within you so that you can enter love from fullness, not lack. My beloved child, after I have shown you that true love does not control, I now want to bring you into the place where healthy love truly begins. It does not begin with panic. It does not begin with emptiness. It does not begin with the fear that if someone leaves your life, will lose its meaning. True love begins from wholeness. I am not saying you will never feel desire, loneliness, tenderness, or longing. I created you for connection. I know the deep places in you that want to be seen, known, and cherished. But my beloved child, there is a difference between longing held in my presence and lack that tries to make another person your source. When you enter love from lack, you do not simply love the person. You begin needing them to carry the weight only I can carry. You need their attention to prove your worth. You need their response to settle your identity. You need their affection to calm wounds not yet healed. that is too heavy for any human soul to bear. Psalm 23 verse 1 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." This does not mean you will never desire companionship. It means your deepest source is not missing. It means your life is not empty at the root because another person has not arrived, has not stayed, or has not chosen you. I am your shepherd before anyone becomes your companion. My beloved child, when you know this, you no longer enter relationships begging someone to become your oxygen. You can love deeply without worshiping the connection. You can enjoy presence without fearing silence. You can receive affection without making it your foundation. You can give love without giving away the soul I restored. A relationship built on lack often becomes heavy quickly. One person starts clinging because they are afraid to be abandoned. The other starts withdrawing because they feel pressured to become a savior. Then both hearts become tired. What began as desire becomes burden. What felt like closeness becomes fear. What sounded like love begins to feel like survival. But when you enter love from wholeness, the atmosphere changes. You do not come to consume, you come to share. You do not come to demand life from another. You come with life already being nourished by me. You do not say, "Complete me, or I will fall apart." You say, "I am held by God, and from that place I can walk with you in truth." Colossians chapter 2 verse 10 says that you are complete in Christ. My beloved child, let this truth go deeper than words. You are not half a soul waiting for another human being to make you real. You are not unfinished because someone has not loved you well. You are not less valuable because a relationship ended, delayed, or never became what you hoped. I am restoring the places where rejection made you feel incomplete. I am healing the places where old relationships taught you to chase. I am bringing you back to the truth that your identity is received from me, not negotiated through someone else's affection. Remember the woman at the well in John chapter 4. She came carrying a history that others could easily judge, but my son did not meet her with shame. He offered living water. He showed her that the thirst of the soul cannot be satisfied by moving from one empty well to another. My beloved child, I am offering you the same living water, so you do not seek from people what only my presence can provide. When I heal lack in you, I do not remove your capacity to love. I purify it. You become able to love without clinging. You become able to give without disappearing. You become able to receive without becoming addicted to approval. You become able to choose with wisdom, not hunger. You become able to wait without believing waiting means you are unwanted. This is a new way for you. Old patterns may still whisper. They may say, "Hold tightly, or you will lose them. Prove more, or they will leave. Accept less, or you will end up alone." My beloved child, those are voices of lack. They are not the voice of my spirit. My spirit will never tell you to abandon your peace just to keep access to someone. Love from wholeness has room for patience. It does not need to rush a bond before truth has been revealed. It has room for boundaries. It does not call every limit rejection. It has room for growth. It does not fear the person I am forming in you. This kind of love is not cold. It is actually deeper because it is not driven by terror. It can be tender without being desperate. It can be loyal without being controlled. It can be committed without becoming possessive. It can value another while still belonging first to God. My beloved child, I want you to stop entering relationships as though you must earn the right to be treated with dignity. You do not have to audition for love by abandoning yourself. You do not have to become smaller to make someone stay. You do not have to silence your needs, hide your calling, or ignore my warnings because you fear being alone. I am with you in the quiet places. I am with you when the phone is silent. I am with you when old memories rise. I am with you when you wonder whether anyone will ever love you rightly. Let my presence become enough to steady you, even while your heart remains open to the love I may bring. A whole heart does not mean a heart without scars. It means a heart that has brought its scars to me. It means a heart no longer using another person as a bandage for wounds that need divine healing. It means you can say, "Father, heal me so I do not turn my pain into pressure on someone else." My beloved child, the love I prepare will not ask you to come empty so another person can fill you. It will invite two lives, both being formed by me, to walk in peace, truth, respect, and freedom. It will not erase individuality. It will create partnership. It will not demand worship from either side. It will point both hearts back to me. So enter love from wholeness, not lack. Let me satisfy the deepest thirst first. Let me restore your identity first. Let me teach you to be still without fear first. Then when connection comes, you will not cling to it as your life. You will receive it as a gift that must still remain under my light. And as you learn to love from fullness, you will need a compass for recognizing healthy connection. That compass is peace. Not shallow ease, but the deep peace that guards your heart when a relationship carries my life. This is what I will teach you next, my beloved child, because peace will help you know what your fear and longing cannot always see. My beloved child, now that I have taught you to enter love from wholeness and not from lack, I want to place a compass in your hand. That compass is peace, not the shallow peace that avoids truth, not the temporary calm that comes with attention. I am speaking of the deeper peace that remains when a connection carries my life. Healthy connection does not always feel effortless. There will be conversations that require humility. There will be differences that require patience. There will be places where both hearts must grow. But my beloved child, growth and chaos are not the same. A relationship can stretch you and still keep your spirit safe. It can challenge you and still carry peace. Peace is not the absence of all emotion. Peace is the presence of my order beneath emotion. You may feel nervous because something matters. You may feel tender. You may feel cautious because trust takes time. But underneath a connection that comes from me, there will be a steady sense that truth is welcome, that honesty is safe, that your soul does not need to disappear. John chapter 14, verse 27 says, "My peace I give to you, not as the world gives." The world often calls peace whatever removes discomfort. But my peace does not always remove every question at once. My peace guards you while truth unfolds. It helps you wait without fear. It helps you speak without panic. It helps you see clearly without needing to control every outcome. My beloved child, learn to notice what happens to your inner life around someone. Do you become more honest, or do you begin performing? Do you feel invited into growth or pressured into self-betrayal? Do you feel free to bring your heart before me, or do you start hiding parts of your life from my light? Do you feel steadier after time with them, or more confused, anxious, and drained? This is not about judging a person harshly. It is about discerning fruit. Matthew chapter 7, verse 17 says that a good tree bears good fruit. Fruit takes time to observe. Anyone can speak beautifully for a moment. Anyone can create excitement for a season. But over time, the fruit appears. Peace appears. Or confusion appears, honor appears, or control appears, truth appears, or manipulation appears. My beloved child, do not ignore repeated unrest in the name of love. If peace keeps lifting every time you move closer, pause. If you must keep explaining away dishonor, pause. If your body grows tense, your prayers become clouded, and your spirit keeps whispering something is not right, do not silence that whisper. Bring it to me. Let me show you whether it is fear from old wounds or discernment from my spirit. The peace I give does not flatter your denial. It will not help you pretend that a harmful pattern is holy. It will not call disrespect a test of love. It will not call control protection. It will not call emotional confusion romance. My beloved child, my peace is gentle, but it is also truthful. It can comfort you and it can warn you. Think of Abigail. She lived near foolishness, but she carried wisdom. She did not let chaos become her nature. When danger came, she moved with discernment, humility, and courage. Her peace was not passivity. It was guided strength. My beloved child, I can give you the same grace. Peace does not mean you ignore what is wrong. Peace means you respond from my presence instead of from panic. A healthy connection will not require you to constantly guess where you stand. It will not keep your heart suspended between hope and disappointment. It will not make you feel loved one day and disposable the next. It will not use silence as punishment or affection as a reward for obedience. There may be hard days, but there will be accountability, repair, and truth. My beloved child, peace grows where there is consistency. Not perfection, but consistency. A person who carries healthy love does not make you wonder whether kindness was real. Their words and actions begin to agree. Their apologies move toward change. Their presence does not require you to abandon your discernment. They do not ask you to close your eyes to fruit just because they can speak with tenderness. Colossians chapter 3 verse 15 says, "To let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Let my peace have authority." Do not let chemistry rule. Do not let fear of loneliness rule. Do not let memories rule. Do not let potential rule. Let peace rule. If peace is absent, do not rush. If peace is present, do not let fear dismiss it. You must also learn that peace can be quiet. It may not feel like fireworks. It may not rush your emotions. It may not feed the old hunger for drama. Sometimes healthy love feels unfamiliar because it is not chaotic. If your past trained you to call anxiety passion, then calm love may feel strange at first. Bring that strangeness to me. Let me teach your nervous heart how safety feels. My beloved child, do not reject peace because it seems simple. My best gifts do not always arrive with storms. Some arrive with steadiness, clarity, patience, and room to breathe. A peaceful connection may not keep you addicted to uncertainty, but it will help you become more honest, more grounded, more prayerful, and more alive. At the same time, do not call comfort peace if truth is being avoided. Comfort says, do not speak because conflict is uncomfortable. Peace says, speak with love because truth can heal. Comfort says, stay because leaving is painful. Peace says, obey me, even if the step costs you. Comfort hides. Peace brings things into the light. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 33 says that I am not a God of confusion but of peace. If a connection keeps producing confusion as its atmosphere, pay attention. Confusion may visit during hard conversations, but it should not become the house you live in. I do not build love on constant instability. I build with truth, patience, humility, forgiveness, and order. My beloved child, ask me to make your heart wise. Ask me to heal the place that mistrusts peace. Ask me to correct the place that confuses intensity with love. Ask me to give you courage to slow down when peace is absent, and courage to receive when peace is present. You are not meant to be led by longing alone. You are not meant to be led by fear alone. You are not meant to be led by someone's promise alone. Let peace be the compass, and let my spirit be the voice behind it. As you follow this peace, I will lead you into a new standard of love, a love that does not control, a love that does not require lack, a love that carries respect, protection, freedom, truth, and life. And in the final part, my beloved child, I will lead you into prayer and thanksgiving so your heart can receive this new standard with surrender and hope. My beloved child, now that I have placed peace in your hand as a compass, I want to bring this journey into prayer, thanksgiving, and a new standard of love. Do not rush away from what I have spoken. Let it settle gently. Let your heart breathe right now. Let the truth become more than words you heard. Let it become a covenant inside you. I have awakened you through subtle signs. I have taught you that beginnings can come quietly. I have shown you that heaven moves by sacred timing. I have stirred your inner life before changing the outer road. I have explained holy unrest, small signs, repeated signals, closed doors, open doors, and peace that guides without pressure. And now, my beloved child, I have brought that same discernment into love. You are no longer to enter relationships blindly. You are no longer to call control protection. You are no longer to call chaos passion. You are no longer to call lack love. You are no longer to shrink yourself in order to keep a connection that does not carry my life. I am giving you a higher standard, not to make your heart hard, but to keep it holy and healed. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 says, not to be conformed to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. My beloved child, I am renewing how you see love. I am renewing how you receive affection. I am renewing how you recognize peace. I am renewing how you discern the difference between a connection that blesses and a bond that drains. Now let thanksgiving rise within you. Thank me for the doors I opened, and thank me for the doors I closed. Thank me for the signs you understood, and even for the moments you did not understand until later. Thank me for the people who stayed with honor, and thank me for the people I allowed to leave when their presence no longer carried life for you. Nothing has been wasted in my hands. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18 says, to give thanks in all circumstances. This does not mean you call every pain good. It means you trust that I can work through every season with wisdom. You can thank me for what protected you, even when it disappointed you. You can thank me for what ended, because some endings were mercy in disguise. My beloved child, let your heart pray now, not with performance, but with honesty. Say to me from the quiet place within you, Father, teach me to love without fear. Teach me to receive love without losing myself. Teach me to discern what carries your peace and what only carries my old hunger. Teach me to release what you have not sent and to receive what you bless without suspicion. Say to me, Father, heal the part of me that mistook control for care. Heal the part of me that chased attention to feel worthy. Heal the part of me that feared silence more than misalignment. Heal the part of me that stayed where peace had already lifted. Make my heart clean, steady, and awake before you. Psalm 51 verse 10 says, "Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me." My beloved child, this is the prayer I receive. I am not asking you to pretend you were never hurt. I am asking you to bring the hurt into my light so it no longer chooses for you. From this day, let there be a new standard. Love must carry respect. Love must protect without possessing. Love must give freedom without neglect. Love must tell the truth without cruelty. Love must be patient without enabling harm. Love must be kind without becoming weak. Love must be honest enough to grow and humble enough to repair. My beloved child, do not fear this standard. It will not steal love from you. It will protect the love I want to purify in you. A holy standard does not close your heart. It guards the door so what enters does not destroy the garden I have been healing. It teaches your heart to welcome what brings life and to release what repeats pain. You may wonder, will I be alone if I choose peace? Will I lose people if I choose truth? Will I miss love if I refuse control? Listen carefully. Anything you lose by choosing my peace was not meant to rule your heart. Anyone who leaves because you no longer abandon yourself was not the foundation I prepared for your future. I am not leading you into emptiness. I am leading you into freedom. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19 says that I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? My beloved child, the new thing is not only around you, it is within you. A new discernment, a new courage, a new tenderness, a new ability to love without fear and to walk away without hatred. I bless your heart with clarity. I bless your mind with peace. I bless your future connections with truth. I bless your boundaries with courage. I bless your healing with patience. I bless your love with purity. I bless your steps with light enough for each day. Do not return to the old pattern simply because it feels familiar. Familiar pain is still pain. Do not choose a cage because you fear the open road. Do not accept confusion because it comes with moments of affection. Do not ignore my peace when it warns, and do not reject my peace when it confirms. My beloved child, I am with you in this new standard of love. I will not shame you for what you once tolerated. I will not mock the places where you were wounded. I will teach you, strengthen you patiently, and guide you faithfully. You are learning to hear me more clearly. You are learning to receive love without losing your soul. Now rest in what I have spoken. Let thanksgiving cover the past. Let prayer open the future. Let discernment guard your steps. Let peace become the language your heart learns to trust. I am leading you by signs, by scripture, by wisdom, by closed doors, by open doors, and by the witness of my spirit. And when love comes in the form I bless, you will not need to become less to keep it. You will not need to fear your own growth. You will not need to silence my voice within you. You will recognize it by its fruit, by its peace, by its respect, by its freedom, and by the way it draws both hearts closer to me. Walk forward, my beloved child. The urgent message has not come to frighten you. It has come to awaken you. It has come to free you. It has come to place light in your hands and wisdom in your heart. Give thanks, pray with trust, and hold this new standard of love. I am guiding you, and I will keep you in a peace that does not fade. Amen.